the Act. As you know, in Companies Act, there are a lot of regulations are there. In the same way, there are regulations. The regulations are by individual state governments. So wherever the project is, suppose if the project is in UP, then you have to refer to UP RERA and UP regulations, right? RERA, of course, Act is the central act. Then RERA authority is a UP RERA authority. Then regulations are UP regulations. So you have to refer to the particular state regulations. Then the act is enacted to protect the interests of the real estate buyers and establish a mechanism for a CD disposal. That is, as I said, that there is a piles of complaints which are against the real estate companies. The main object is to protect the interests of the buyers, allottees, and speedy disposal, and of course penalizing the people who are violating the RERA. Now, to understand any act, we have to know the definitions first. But let me tell you, this is a very exhaustive presentation. So what I will be doing is that I will not be reading all the definitions or other things verbatim, and I will just discuss the gist of every slide or every definition and other things. And later on, I'll share the presentation with you, and you can go through. And if any doubts, you can later on also get in touch with me, because in 1 hour covering other entire thing will be difficult, especially the definition parts. But unless you understand the definition, you will not be able to appreciate the other provisions. First of all, the allottee. Earlier, what is it? There is to be a confusion that who is the person. There is various nomenclature used as a buyer, seller, transferor, transferee, and who can sue the real estate company, who cannot sue the real estate company. There used to be a lot of doubts. So what they have done is that now they have put one word like allottee. This is the term now to be used for all the people who are put in all the basket of buyer, transferor, transferee, and all those things. According to section 2D, a allottee in relationship of a real estate means a person to whom a plot, apartment, or a building has been allotted or sold and subsequently acquired the said allottee through sale, transfer, or otherwise. That means, suppose if I make an application to X real estate company, I am an allottee, right? There is an agreement between, he sold the flat to me. That means he allotted, first not sold, allotted. Then suppose I sell that to B, then I am also to be falling under the definition of allottee, and subsequent purchasers are also treated to be allottees having the full rights which are given to the allottees under the Act. Then second is apartment. Again, earlier there used to be a lot of confusion between who can sue. Mostly what we think is the allottee or purchaser, we will take only the people who have applied for residential apartments. So this has set to rest by this definition. Apartment, what they have defined is separate and self-containing part of a immovable property used for residential or commercial for any other purpose. Like if you are using for office, shop, showroom, even a godown, whatever may be the purpose of your usage, that particular tenement is called an apartment. And whosoever is the allottee of an apartment will acquire all the rights under this Act. Next definition is carpet area, section 2, subsection K. This is very, very important. If you remember earlier days, one of the tricks played by the real estate companies are always that in the marketing brochures and other things, they used to give different nomenclatures to sell their product. Mostly they used to sell by super area. Today you want to purchase a flat, they used to purchase by super area, saying that you will get 1,000 square feet of super area. Ultimately, when you get the allotment, when you get the possession, go inside the flat, you will get something like 650 square feet. Against 1,000, you will be getting a house, 4 walls within your house will be of 650 or maximum 700 square feet. All other 300 goes for the common areas. So a lot of people get cheated, whether it is 1,000 square feet or whatever square feet they are mentioning on the brochures, all your allotment letters also. You never know what ultimately you are going to get. So what they have put in their era is that they have defined carpet area. Now all the sales have to be done on the basis of carpet area only. In the carpet area, what they have included is whatever is there within your four walls is your carpet area. All your balconies, verandas, terraces, or your parking, all are excluded from this. Only internal walls are included. So whatever you see in your room plus internal partitions are part of your carpet area. So now all the sales which are done in real estate are on the basis of carpet area. Then they have different common areas also. As I said that one is your net carpet area which you are getting. Apart from that, nowadays everybody wants a lot of facilities outside your house also. You want a swimming pool, you want a club, you want lawns, you want walkways and whatnot. So all these things, the places which are being used for all these things are put under the common area definition, which include your staircase, lift case, lobbies, then common basements, common parkings, play areas, open parkings, all these are included in the definition of common area. Now, another definition is interest. So, whenever there is a dispute, large number of disputes used to be on the basis of interest also. Because of that, the Act has also put interest in the definition itself. That definition itself, they have explained what interest is. So interest means interest payable by the promoter to the LRT for the delays on his part, or the amount of interest to be paid by the LRT to the real estate company in case of delay from his side. So earlier what is to happen is that invariably in all of the agreements, if there is any delay from the LRT, they say the builder will charge something like 18 to 24% of interest. But if there is a delay, they will say some rupees per square feet of amount will be paid to you. So in your case, they used to mention the percentage. When they have to pay, they used to put as a rupee something, and you never used to know what is the rate of interest. Normally that used to come to something like 5 to 6% only. So if you delay, you pay 18 to 24%. If they delay, they pay 5 to 6%. So this has been addressed by this definition, and an explanation to that also, and a particular section is also there by which they say whatever interest you are charging from the LRTs for the delay on their part, and the same amount of interest now you have to pay to the builder if there is any delay, or if any order is given that interest is to be paid, the same to be paid. So they have not decided what interest rate should be. You jolly well charge 10, 20, 30, whatever percentage it is. But if you charge 18% from the LRT for his delay, then you also pay 18% for your delay. Then there is a definition of internal developments as well as external developments. You know that apart from the tenement which is given it to you, you need some other things within the premises for comfortable living. So all the common buildings, then sewages, solid waste management, safety requirement, all these things which are to be provided within the four compounds of your main project are put on the definition of internal developments. So apart from internal development, some external developments are also required to be done. All the state authorities, they say, suppose there is a main gate of your project. So first is your house, then within that four walls of your project compound wall, some developments are to be done. Beyond that also some development has to be done by the real estate companies themselves, builders themselves, because there is a roads, sewages which are to be connected to the main sewages. Till that time, the responsibility is of the builders. So all the roads leading to the main roads from your gate and all the other connections which are to be given, like electricity substations, roads, all other things, they are called external development. So these two also have been defined under the Act. The next is commencement certificate and occupation certificate. Commencement certificate is a certificate given by the competent authority allowing promoter to begin development. So before you start constructing, you have to give the layout plans and various other documents with the authority. And first, get a commencement certificate. Upon getting of a commencement certificate only, you are permitted to develop the project. Then when you complete the project, then an occupation certificate is given. So all the file clearances are, after getting all these things, an occupation certificate is given. After giving up the occupation certificate only, you can do allotment and get it registered with the local authorities. Then only the allottee can check into his house. Then completion certificate, ultimately, if of completing all the internal and external developments which the builder has to do, then he has to apply for a completion certificate. And when completion certificate is given, that is the end or conclusion part of a project. So first commencement certificate, second is occupancy certificate, and lastly completion certificate. There are many projects which have not obtained completion certificate for decades together. In fact, I was told in Bombay, more than half of the people don't get completion certificate at all. But they all ran into problem when the Real Estate Act has started, because they said whosoever has not got completion certificate, they also get their projects registered with the RERA. Then sanction plan, as I said, various documents which are to submit with the authorities to get the approvals. One of the things, most important is the sanction plan. It includes the site plan, building plan, services plan, parking plan, circulation plan, landscaping plan, zoning plan. So everything has to be put in one plan and get approval before you start commencement of the construction. So this is very important, and put in the definition that once if you get the sanction plan approved, then there cannot be any deviations which are permitted. So you have to develop the project as per what you have mentioned in the sanction plan. Then promoter. So this is also very important definition. Earlier, what used to happen is that today a company, maybe I don't want to take any names while giving examples for obvious reasons, but suppose today a company announces, a very popular company announces a project. Everybody seeing the name of the company will do the bookings. But when some problem comes, when you go try to sue them, then you will come to know actually he is not the real owner. Somebody is a landowner, somebody has entered into an agreement to develop the project, and somebody has entered into an agreement to market it. So ultimately what advertisements you are seeing is the guy who is actually marketing the project. The project is of some company, the land is of some company. There are so many players in the entire project, but you know a guy who is giving you an advertisement who is not the owner of the project at all. So to put all the people at one pedestal, now the definition of promoter has been very exhaustive. It includes the people who are constructing or caused to be constructed, right? Then any person who develops the land into a project, whether or not that person constructs or not. Suppose today I have a land, I don't know how to construct. I will enter into an agreement with a fellow constructor, construction company, and we will start a project. So I am the guy who is developing the project, somebody is constructing the project, both will be treated as promoters as far as the RERA is concerned. Then most importantly, earlier the governmental bodies were not included anywhere as a promoters. Now in RERA, all the development authorities and public bodies are also included in the definition of a promoter, like DDA in Delhi, Delhi Development Authority, or Noida Authority, Greater Noida Authority. You know, they are also constructed, they sell. A lot of DDA flats are in there in Delhi. So if any flats are being developed by DDA to that project, the DDA will be treated as a promoter. That is a very important thing which has been brought in RERA. So this is of course the expansion of the same thing which has been discussed, very exhaustive, no need to go through the entire thing. Now next is the prospectus. As a company secretaries, we know prospectus. What prospectus is that? As far as shares are concerned, prospectus which has been issued for issuing shares. In the same way, any notice, circular or other document offering for sale of any real estate project will be treated as a prospectus. So earlier what is to happen is that advertisement कुछ दे दिया आपने, pamphlet says something else, your agreement to say something else, so we used to have a lot of problems. So now what they have done is that all these things have been put together under the definition of a prospectus. So in the way you have very stringent provisions in the Companies Act for misstatement in the prospectus, in the real estate companies also now, anything which has been put in any of these documents, and if those things are not met, the real estate company will be held responsible for that. Then a real estate agent also been defined. What we call as a broker, loosely we call the use word broker. पहले broker किसी के लिए responsible नहीं था, and he just takes you to the builder and आपसे agreement sign कराता है, he takes his commission, side में हो जाता है. So no responsibility of a broker, because कहीं दिखाई नहीं देते थे, कहीं सुनाई नहीं देते थे, you never used to have their numbers or addresses or whereabouts. But now RERA has done defined real estate agents and made the registration mandatory. No person can act as a real estate agent or a broker, whatever you like to call them, unless they are registered with RERA. Now coming to the main provision, with this we come to the end of the definition part. Now we will come to one by one the sections. Prior registration of the project. One of the best thing which RERA has done is that before you start a project, especially you start advertising, marketing, booking, selling, or offer to sell, or invite any person to invest the money in the real estate project, you have to get your project registered. So earlier, no such provision was there. What we used to call in the real estate parlance that pre-booking. आपने लैंड भी नहीं खरीदा, आपका लैंड आपका नाम पे नहीं है, nobody has approved that project, people used to advertise, people used to collect money, and people used to crazily give money also. What we call a pre-launch booking. So आपको पता ही नहीं what the project is and what the product is to be, people used to give a lot of money and people used to run away with those monies. Now that has been put to an end. No marketing of any project can be done unless the project first gets registered. And I said company secretaries have a role to play to get the project registered. You can help the real estate companies. Then when the RERA came, as far as the existing projects are concerned, all those projects to whom completion certificate is not given are also required to get the project registered. Then there is an explanation to this section where real estate project is developed in phases. Then each phase has to be registered as a separate project. So earlier what is to happen is that you announce one project, say S. 4 towers are treated to be one phase, then another phase, they keep on extending it into phases. So now what they have done is that if you want to develop a project into phases, each phase has to be registered separately. So project may be A, out of this X, Y, Z are 3 phases, all the 3 phases has to be registered. Now no registration is required if the project is to be developed is not exceeding 500 square meters or not exceeding 8 in number. So आप छोटे-छोटे जैसे एक छोटा सा लैंड करके अपना भाई आपस में 4-5 भाई बन के एक छोटा सा घर बनाना चाहते हैं. So there, if it is not exceeding 500 square meters and the number of flats doesn't exceed 8, then no registration is required. In the same way, in case of a renovation, repair, redevelopment also, registration is not required, provided there is no marketing, advertisement, selling, or new allotment. So these are very, very important. See, as you know that many times what happens is that आपका खानदानी कोई घर है, एक छोटा सा लैंड पे एक फ्लैट बना दिया या 1+1 बना दिया. Then after 20-30 years, you want to pull that down and make a 4-story building. That in that case, it is called a redevelopment. That redevelopment doesn't need registration, provided you don't sell it to any outsider. आपस 4 भाई है, 2 भाई है, आपस में बांट लिया उसको, तो no registration is required. But suppose कई बार क्या होता है, एक लैंड पे जैसे फादर का, ग्रैंडफादर का, आपने तोड़ के बनाया 10-15 फ्लैट्स, उसमें 5 भेज दिया, then registration is required. Now application to registration, where I said this is one of the very, very important section for company secretaries if they want to practice in this real estate practices, that every promoter who wants to get his project registered has to make an application to the authority in such form, in such manner, within such time as may be provided, along with fees as prescribed. All these things are prescribed in the regulation. Act has not provided for these things, but if you go to the regulation, entire things will be mentioned there, in what form it is to be applied, and then within what time it is to be applied, what fees is to be paid. But Act provides the documents which are to be attached with that, then brief details of the project, then details of the promoters along with the photographs, and the projects launched by the promoter in the last 5 years, and the status of those projects, especially if there is any delay happened in those projects, you have to mention that. Then authenticated copy of the approvals and commencement certificate which are obtained. Then the sanctioned plans, layout plans, specifications, everything has to be given. The plan development work, proposed facilities which you want to give, they are to be mentioned. The location of the project, the allotment letter, agreement, fill sale, and conveyance deed. Even these drafts are to be submitted along with your registration, so that at any point of time later on, you cannot change any of these, especially the agreement for sale. It is the most contentious thing, it's a controversial thing. What are the clauses put in the agreement to sell? So they want a standardized agreement to sell to be attached with your registration certificate, and all the agreements which you will be entering into with the allottees should be as per this model agreement. The number and type of carpet area of the apartments, then garage areas, real estate agents, and contractors, architect, all these details are to be given. Then the declaration has to go from the promoter in a form of affidavit signed by the promoter, stating that he has a legal title to the land, free from all encumbrances, and the time period within which the project will be executed. This is very, very important. The time which is given, you have to adhere to that. If there is any delay, then there will be penalties. Then you have to give a declaration that 70% of the amount realized will be put in a separate account. There is a separate section for that. We will discuss there. Then he has to mention all the approvals which have been received till that date, or any approvals which are pending. Then he has to furnish such other document as may be required by the authority. Then after filing of all these things comes the grant of registration under section 5. The authority shall, within period of 30 days. So things are moving very fast nowadays. So whenever you make an application, if it is found to be complete, the registration has to be granted within 30 days, right? If it is not done within 30 days, it will be deemed to be approved. While approving the registration, you will be given a login ID and password, and you have to create a web page on the site of the real estate authority. Then if your application is rejected, then the reasons for rejection of the application has to be given, and rejection can be done only after giving an opportunity of being heard. Then the registration which is being granted will be valid for the period for which you are mentioning. Suppose if you are saying that I'm going to complete the project for 5 years, if the registration is granted, the registration will be valid for that 5 years. You have to complete the project within that period only. Then coming to the extension, as I said, that whatever is the time given for by you will be the period for which the registration is done. For any force majeure reasons, if you are not able to complete the project within time, then you have to apply for extension of it along with the requisite fees, and the authority, if they found the reasons given by you as acceptable, then they will grant the extension for a maximum period of 1 year. So beyond 1 year, then the registration ceases. Now this आजकल COVID period चल रहा है. This can be a force majeure for getting the extension done for the projects. Then revocation of the registration under section 7, the authority may, on the receipt of a complaint or suo motu, or on the recommendation of a competent authority, can revoke the registration of any project if it is satisfied that the promoter made default in doing anything required under the act. As I said, that all the provisions which we are discussing today are to be complied by the builder. If they don't do, this is one of the penalties which can happen to them, that the project registration is revoked. Violated any terms and conditions of the approval, or he has indulged in any unfair trade practices. Some of the example of unfair practices has been given here, that falsely representing that the services of a particular standard or grade are there, representing that the promoter has some approval or affiliations which he doesn't have, then making false and misleading representations. The promoter permits publication of any advertisement or prospectus of services that are not intended to be given. This is one of the, as I said, that biggest complaint, that they promise the moons and they don't give even sawdust. Then the promoters indulging any fraudulent practices. Then before revoking a registration, a 30 days notice is given in writing to the company, and stating the grounds what for they are planning to revoke the registration, and after giving an opportunity of being heard, the registration can be revoked. Normally, instead of revoking the project, the authorities can put further terms and conditions as they fit to put the things in place. The authority, upon revocation of the project, what happens is that debar the promoters from accessing the web page and putting their names in the website. This is one of the very bad things to happen, that all the defaulters' name is given in the web page itself. Then shall facilitate the remaining development work to be carried under section 8. So what happens is that if a developer's registration is cancelled, where these people will go, the allottees, that is addressed under section 8. Then shall order the banks to freeze the accounts. Then the obligation of authority conjugate upon the revocation of the registration. Just as I said, that whenever the revocation is done, what authority will do? Whenever a project registration is cancelled, it may consult to the appropriate government to take the following steps. Then carry out the remaining development by a competent authority or the association of allottees. If you have read the recent news, I think 1 week back, UP-RERA has done this. It is revoked the registration of one of the builders of Greater Noida. He has not completed the project, and it has offered the association of allottees to complete the project. They asked them to form an association and come out with a plan how they want to complete the project. So the project has been taken away from the promoter and given to the allottees. This is now happening in many cases. Provided that no direction can be given until the expiry of the appeal period and opportunity of being heard is given to the builders. Then first right of refusal is with the allottees. So whenever revocation is done, first of all, the offer has to go to the association of the allottees, whether you can do it or not. If they are not in a position or capable of doing that, then they will find a competent authority. If you know, you have heard Amrapali case, Supreme Court has given the assignment to NBCC, right? So such things are also happening in the market. If the allottees are not capable of doing that, then they will appoint some other authority to complete the project and give it to the allottees. Registration of brokers, this is not that important. As I said, that nowadays anybody who wants to work as an agent or a broker has to get himself registered, and a registration number is granted to the broker, and whatever correspondence he enters into and whatever applications he puts in, he has to put his stamp. If you know that in share market also, you have brokers and sub-brokers who put their stamp. In the same way, the real estate broker also puts his stamp for all the applications which are going through him, and he is also under obligation to do lot of things, and lot of obligations are put upon him also to not to make any tall claims or claims which are not fair. Now this is very important, functions and duties of the promoters. All these duties of the promoters become the rights of the allottees. Section 11 talks about the duties of the promoters. First of all, it starts with the registration. As soon as the project is registered and you get your ID, then you have to put all the details in the website. Details of registration granted has to be put in. Then in that, quarterly updation has to be given, the number and types of apartments and plots which are being booked, quarterly update of number of garages booked, the list of approvals taken during that quarter, and status of the project, and such other information as may be required. See, earlier what is to happen is that you have given the money, they'll say 3 years we will complete. Then after the end of the 3 years, you will come to know, उसमें 10% भी complete नहीं हुआ, the 90% रह गया. So during the period, nobody is updating you, nobody is under obligation to update you. But now the RERA has put a duty on the promoters that in this, the site which is there, where your ID is given, you have to create a page for your project. All the details have to be on a continuous basis updated. Now you need not ask anybody, you need not go to the real estate company also. You just simply go to the site and see the updations, what is happening. By that, you can constantly follow up the real estate company, and if they are not responding, then straight away go to the RERA authority. Suppose if I'm supposed to get an approval, say within 6 months, after 6 months, if I don't update my web page or I have not got the approval, then the allottees can go against you. Then all the advertisements which are released in the papers, all the pamphlets which are being circulated for a project should invariably have this web address. Then the promoters are responsible to make available the allottees the following documents. When you are making a booking, along with the executed agreement, these things you should insist to get. One is sanction plan, layout plan, along with all your specifications. Just in the agreement, whatever the legal terms and conditions are just not enough. You should know what the overall sanction plan, layout plan, and the specification, building plan, what are the things, materials you want to put inside your house, everything, a copy of the thing should be given, and the stage-wise time schedule of the completion also to be informed to the allottees. Then promoter shall be responsible for all the obligations, responsibilities, functions till the conveyance of the house to you. Provided that if there are any structural defects, then beyond that period also his responsibility is there. Normally, all the responsibilities of a builder comes to an end once the house has been conveyed to you. But after the conveyance also, if there are any structural defaults, structural defects, then beyond the conveyance also, the builder will be responsible to you. Then he will be responsible to get the completion certificate. As I said, that first occupation certificate is obtained, and you can get the house registered and occupy the house. Then after the building of all the common areas, internal development, external developments, especially completion of the external developments, they will get a completion certificate. So after conveyance also, he will be responsible to complete the internal and external development and get the completion certificate to you. Then he has to get a lease certificate for the land, which if he has taken the lease, the land on lease, you have to get you the lease certificate. And another important thing is that maintenance of essential services on reasonable charges. So when the project is complete, for 5 years, if you wish, that means the association wants the builder to do the maintenance for 5 years mandatorily. He has to do the maintenance services. Of course, he will charge something from you. You will not do free of cost. But if you are not in a position to do yourself, the builder has to do. After 5 years, of course, it has to be handed over to association. But after 5 years, between you, if there is an agreement, if you want the builder to do the maintenance, if he wants to do, he can do, but it is not mandatory for them. But 5 years, it is mandatory. In this 5 years, it should enable you to form an association and hand over all the maintenance to the association. Then before all these handovers, all the things which he has to pay as a builder, he has to make all the payments. And after conveyance also, if there are any dues left, the builder continues to be responsible to make the payment for any amount which is outstanding. Then after conveyance, he should not mortgage or create any charge on the apartments. Now, as you said, we talked about the prospectus, obligation of the promoters in respect of advertisement prospectus. So now, after the RERA, the real estate companies have to be extremely careful in drafting their advertisement prospectus, brochures, or all other material. So they should not make any claims, and on the basis of the claims made in the prospectus or the notices or the model house which has been shown to you, if there is any loss incurred or damages incurred by the allottee, if he is based his decision on the all claims made by you in the advertisements, then you have to compensate him for that. Then this is another important thing: no deposit or advance to be taken by the promoters without first entering into the agreement to sell. So earlier what is to happen is that, as I said, that they'll announce the project, take 90% of the amount, and the construction will be to the extent of only 10%. Then all other money is put into other projects. Now, to address this, what a real estate company, RERA has done is that, so you cannot charge more than 10% of the estimated cost of the project unless you enter into a agreement to sell with the allottee. So if you want to charge anything more than, first enter into agreement to sell and get it registered also. Of course, this has now more complications, but as it stands, RERA has insists for the not only enter of the agreement, but registering of that. So after registration only, you can take more than 10%. The agreement shall be in such form as may be prescribed. As I said that all the regulations will give the model agreement also. The agreement has to be as per the model agreement. You cannot put any clauses of your liking. Earlier what is to happen is all the agreements is to be one-sided. So now it has not done away with, it is done away with. Now it has to be as per the model agreements. Date and manner by which the payments towards the cost of the apartments are to be made is to be mentioned, and the date on which possession is to be handed over has to be given. Rate of interest, we already discussed what rate of interest will be charged by the real estate company as well as by the allottees to be paid, has to be given. The next is sanction plans. As I said that at the time of registration, you have to give a sanction plan and you have to strictly adhere to the sanction plans. Any deviation will be having a serious repercussion. In case of any deviations within the house of the fixtures, fitting, amenities, and common areas of the apartment, you have to get a consent, written consent from the allottee. So as आपने एक house allotment ले लिया, after that he cannot change unless you give a written consent. उसने बोला मॉडलर किचन दूंगा, बाद में कहता मॉडलर किचन नहीं दूंगा, एसीस लगाएंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, lot of things they promise. If they want to change that, they have to get your consent. Now, as far as the project is concerned, if they want to tweak the sanction plans of the project, that is common areas and other things, then in that case, they have to get the approval of 2/3 of majority of the allottees. Then only any changes can be made. So that strict provisions have been put in place by RERA. Of course, some minor changes can be done. Then structural changes, as I said, that can be done only with the 2/3 majority. Transfer of rights in the project, section 15. In the same way, nowadays what happens is that today I booked my flat with a X company. After some time, as you know, that companies keep selling their projects or companies to some other fellow. If you want to sell the rights of the project to somebody else also, then in that case also you have to get the approval of 2/3 of the allotee and also RERA authority. Prior written consent, unless you get from these two parties, you cannot transfer your rights to some other company. Then transfer of title deed, as I said that upon the completion of the project, you have to execute a registered sale deed in favor of the allottees, along with the undivided portion of the common areas. This is very, very important. Lot of allottees don't know, or even educated people also never bother, that you have a undivided right, a title to the common areas. So, आपका जो घर है, if it is 1,000 square feet, you have an absolute right on them. And as far as the common area is concerned, you have undivided right. So that has to be mentioned in the conveyance deeds. Then the conveyance has to be done within 3 months from the date of issue of the occupation certificate. And along with the conveyance deed, all the copies of the sanction plan, other areas, common areas plans, everything is to be provided to the allottee. Now, important thing is compensation for interest and delay. This we already discussed in section 18. Now, RERA specifically puts that whatever interest you charge for the delay in payment by the allottee, same amount of interest has to be paid by you if there is any delay on your part to complete the project. Apart from that, the promoter shall compensate the allottee in case of loss caused to him due to defective or title of the lands. Now coming to the establishment of RERA, section 20, the appropriate government within a period of 1 year, this we already discussed in the beginning. So when the Real Estate Act came in, then with a 1 year time has been given to set up RERA authorities in every state, and then of course they come out with the regulations. Then the authority consists of a chairman and not less than 2 whole-time members. Functions of the RERA, section 34. The RERA has to first of all register and regulate the real estate projects. We already talked about a registration process. To publish and maintain a website of the records. This also we discussed that at the time of registration, in their website, they'll give you a ID and password wherein you put all the details. So if you go to a RERA authority, you click on the X company, these projects will be there. If you click on the project, all the project details will come. So now no need to go to the real estate company to get the details. This RERA website itself provides all the details. Then it has to maintain database of the names and photographs of the promoters, whosoever has defaulted, and all their details will be given in the list of defaulters. To maintain the data of the real estate agents also. Then to fix the standard of fees to be levied on the allottees or promoters or the real estate agents, ensure compliance of the obligations, compliance of its regulations or orders or directions, to perform such other functions as may be entrusted to the authority by the appropriate government. This is one of the very, very important thing. All the RERA is controlled and governed by the authorities only. Then appellate authority, section 43, the appropriate government also should, along with the RERA authority, should set up the appellate authority also. So appellate authorities, whatever orders given by the authority, if somebody wants to go against them, they have to appeal to the appellate authority. Appellate authority will have a chairman and 2 whole-time members, 1 judicial member and 1 administrative member. So any person aggrieved by the directions of the authority can refer an appeal to the appellate authority within 60 days. Then if it is a promoter, if the promoter wants to go on an appeal, he has to deposit 30% of the penalty levied, or such other higher percent as may be determined, or entire total amount to be paid to the allottee has to be first deposited before you go for an appeal. In case of an allottee, nothing of that sort is there. Then after execution of the orders of the tribunal, every order of the appellate tribunal is treated to be a decree of civil court. Then appeal to the High Court And if anybody who is aggrieved by the orders of the appellate authority can appeal to the higher court of the state in which that appellate authority is there within 60 days. So unlike NCLT, in case of NCLT, you have NCLT, NCLAT, then Supreme Court. But in case of RERA, appellate authority, then High Court, then Supreme Court. The last thing is offenses and penalties. After RERA came in to the penalties have been steeply put in, So this is to discipline the real estate companies. Any contravention of the provisions of Section 3, then the promoters will be liable to a penalty which may extend up to 10% of the estimated cost of the real estate project as may be determined. Just imagine, today if there is a 100 crores project, right, then 10% of that thing can be a penalty. That's 10 crore rupee penalty lag sakta hai. If it is the project is not registered, then for not complying with the orders or decisions or directions given under subsection 1, that is 59(1), then punishment with an imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years or with a fine which may extend further 10%. Pehle 10%, then another 10% of that, or with both. And third is for providing false information or contravening the provisions of Section 4, that is making application for registration, penalty which may extend to 5% of the estimated cost of the project or as may be determined. So 10%, 10%, 5%, 3 violations के लिए 25% of the project cost गया आपका. For contravening any other provisions other than Section 3 or 4, penalty shall be liable for a penalty which may extend to 5% of the estimated cost of the project. So Section 3, 4 के लिए 10%, orders violation के लिए another 10%, then any other section another 5%. Then for failing to comply or contravening the orders given by the authority under this particular subsection, another 5% of the estimated cost of the project can be levied as a penalty. And for failing to comply with or contravening the decisions or direction given by the appellate tribunal, ये सब authority का, if appellate tribunal gives an order, if you contravene that, so another 10% or imprisonment of 3 years. So that stringent are the RERA provisions. Now any contraventions done by the allottee, this is for the first time. Earlier what used to happen is that allottees always used to be crying babies, always complaining against the real estate companies and trying to get them prosecuted. But for the first time, the real estate companies also have some grievances against the allottees. Not that allottees are saints or anything like that. They also do contraventions in the sense that especially the biggest contravention done by the allottees is that they book a flat for whatever reason. They think that there will be demand for a particular project. If the demand goes down, like jaisa abhi COVID period chal raha hai, right? Even if you are in a financially sound position, you will not pay because the prices have come down. So the allottees also sometimes play tricks that if they see that the project is not taken off, they stop paying. Now tell me, suppose if you have paid 10%, right? Then 100%, that is 90% more of the estimated cost, kahan se laayega builder? Majority of the allottees, if they don't pay, the projects get affected. So to address this section has been provided that for failure to comply with contravenes the orders or decisions of the authority, then the allottee will be liable to a penalty which may cumulatively extend to 5% of the cost of the flat. आज मैं 1 crore रुपया का flat book करता हूँ, then I don't pay, the real estate company complains to the authority, then authority gives an order. If I contravene that order, then 5%, 1 crore का 5%, 5 lakh रुपया penalty लग सकता है मेरे ऊपर. Then for the failure to comply with the orders of the appellate authority, imprisonment and up to 1 year or 10% of the cost of the apartment. So आपका भी 15% जा सकता है, 1 साल का जेल हो सकता है. So for the first time, responsibility is cast on the allottees also. Now coming to, if you are working in a real estate company, you should be careful about this particular section 69, where offences under this section has been committed by a company. This we know in every act it is there, that the persons who are in charge or was responsible to the company for the conduct of the business of the company, as well as the company will be responsible. We are talking about individuals. If it is individual, individuals are responsible, but most of the real estate companies are in the form of the company. So if violations are done by the company, the guy who is responsible and in charge of the company will be responsible for all the offenses which we have mentioned about. Then he can get away if he proves that the offense was committed without the knowledge of that particular person, or he has exercised due diligence to prevent commissioning of such thing. Then, notwithstanding what has been provided, that if an offense is committed with a consent or connivance or attributable to any negligence on the part of a director, manager, secretary, or any other officer, such director, manager, secretary will also be responsible. So, if you are company secretary of a real estate company, you should be extremely careful about 69 subsection 2. So, by a company, being a company secretary of the company, you will also be responsible. The last is the compounding of offences under section 70. Notwithstanding anything provided in the Code of Criminal Procedure Code, any punishment with imprisonment under the Act that can be compounded by the court on such terms and conditions on such payment of the fees. But that fees cannot be more than the maximum fine that can be levied. Suppose 5% का penalty है maximum. So when you go for compounding, any compounding can be done by payment of any fees not exceeding that 5% or 10% as the case may be. So lastly, the benefits of the RERA, which most of the sections which we have discussed, I just try to just recapitulate this. RERA has, when RERA has come into work, lot of improvement has come in the behavior of the real estate companies, and allottees have been benefited to a great extent and getting their complaints redressed, as well as I said, that going to the extent of the cancellation of the registration or revocation of the registration and handing over to the allottees. As I said that, first of all, there is a standardization of carpet area and a standardization of the unit of sale. आपको जो बेच रहा है, आपको पता लगेगा what you are going to get. That is net carpet area which you are going to get or to be given to you. Then arresting diversions of the funds, as we said that a separate bank account has to be opened and 70% of the amount of the receipts are to be put in a separate account. This has really worked very well. As I said that normally real estate companies keep on diverting the funds of one project into another project. Now, whatever your collections, you have to put in a separate account, and withdrawal from that account is permitted only on the basis of a certificate given by a chartered accountant, architect, and engineer, stating that the project has been completed to that extent. So withdrawals from that particular account will be only based on the completion of the project. Then limitation of advance, as I said that you cannot take more than 10% unless the agreement gets registered. If there are any defects, as I said that 5 years from the taking of the possession also, if there are any structural defects, the defects are to be corrected by the real estate company. Parity in default if interest, we already discussed, the interest now cannot be charged high by the real estate company. Whatever they're charging, they have to pay if there is any default from their side. Then in case of a false promises and other things, they can ask for refund, or they can continue and ask for interest and compensation. And if there is any defect in the title also, they are entitled for compensations. Then right to information, as I said that all the information in respect of the project has to be uploaded in the website. The quarterly updations have to be done. So now the investors are far better informed than the earlier days. Then in case of a delay of possession, either they can claim compensation or can withdraw from the project and can ask for their amount which has been paid along with the interest and compensation. So this is all my presentation. So I think I have done it in 1 hour, which has been given it to me. And any question answers are there, I'm happy to address them. Over to you, Bhavesh.
Yes, sir. Request all members to come forward for the discussions and question and answers if they have any.
Anybody whosoever is attending has done anything about the RERA? Any experience of doing any work in RERA?
Yes, sir, I have experience.
Okay, as a practicing company secretary, you are doing RERA practice?
Yes, actually, I have worked in one of the major real estate companies in Gujarat.
Okay.
So from there, I got some experience, and then I started my consultancy.
Okay, very good.
So I am registering the projects in Gujarat, all over Gujarat.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, what is your experience? How fast is happening there?
They are good. System is good. They are now updating their system too in this mid-June. They were telling that.
Okay, that's good. Happy to know that a company secretary is working in RERA.
Yes, we are working.
Okay, great. So any practicing company secretary who is doing any compliance to real estate companies? I think a lot of practicing company secretary must be there in the group.
Yes, sir. There are, but for most of us, that RERA topic is something which is not touched upon.
No, but the thing is that what I'm wondering is that if you are a company secretary and giving a audit certificate without going through our RERA provisions, how you are giving a certificate? That is the most important compliances which you have to go through, isn't it? I think काफी लोग miss कर रहे हैं इस चीज को, and they can land up in trouble because you are not exempted from examining the provisions of the RERA. आपको labor laws and other चीजें को भी check करने के लिए जब बोल रहे हैं, so how can you leave RERA? If you are, be careful, whoever is the practicing company secretaries here and doing the secretarial audits, if you ignore RERA provisions and tomorrow if that company goes into serious troubles, and one of the people who will be called in will be you also. Because if you give a clean chit, suppose if the company has not registered few projects, or they have not updated the website, or most importantly, separate account में 70% नहीं डाला, आपने दे दिया कि certificate, then you can land up in trouble.
Sir, I have one question.
हाँ जी.
In case the company, the secretarial auditor audits the RERA company, real estate company, then in that case he has to start the audit from the registration itself, that when the project is got registered and whether all the points which are to be. Okay.
Of course. See, that is what I'm saying. Say, suppose you are auditing a company, right? They have launched a project, they have not registered, they have collected the money. That itself is a serious violation of Section 3.
Right.
And if that is a violation, and if you're not mentioned in your secretarial audit, I don't think you have done a proper audit then. Broadly, main things कम से कम, चाहे आप बहुत technical चीजों में नहीं जाएं, you know that it has to be registered. You know, you just discussed that a lot of things have to be put on the website, right? You know that they should not deviate anything or anything like that. So वो provisions तो कम से कम देख लो ना. 70% एक bank account है कि नहीं, right? How the withdrawals are happening. Broadly, you have to definitely, I think, comment on them.
So we have received one more question. I'm just saying the question. Where project delivery is delayed, what actions the buyer should take, and how, being a professional on behalf of such company, we can protect against such buyer's complaint?
See, the most important default from the on the real estate company is the delay in the project. If you are, I covered, apart from other things, one of the things which are to be mentioned in the application for applying for the registration is the time limit in which you will complete the project, right? Suppose if I mention 3 years, then I can be given an extension of 1 year for whatever reasons I give. Some force majeure dikha dunga. So there is a fees also, extra fees also for that. So if you apply to the authority by paying that extra fees, right, then they can extend the project for maximum 1 year. So if I mention 3 years and extension of 1 year, 4 years come what may I have to complete. If I don't complete, then the individual allottee or an association of allottees can go to the real estate authority. Then they will decide. As I said that, I gave an example. I give the name of the project also, Sampada Levia. The Greater Noida project. Just 1 week, all the papers are covered. 1 week back, this project registration has been revoked, and an option is given to the association of allottees, asking their consent. Can you form a group and can you complete the project for yourself? So they are given a time. If they go back, if they can do it, okay, they'll give it to them. Otherwise, they will, along with the discussion with the appropriate authority, competent authority, that is the state authorities, जो होता है real estate development का works and public works departments जो होते हैं, along with the discussion with them, they will give it to somebody to complete the project. But the builder has gone out of the picture altogether. जैसे IBC में होता है, the moment admitted, the promoters are gone. In the same way, if the RERA gives an order, it's gone. It has happened in one of the projects in Haryana, one of the projects in Maharashtra. Maharashtra case is a redevelopment case. So in that also it has been delayed by more than 4 years. So they have thrown out the promoter and given it to the association of allottees. In the Haryana also, it is Piyush Heights. That is the name of the project is Piyush Heights. In that also, it has given to the association of allottees. So if there is any delay, they can approach a company secretary or a lawyer and file a case with the appropriate RERA. जैसे इन्होंने बोला था गुजरात में प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, if it is a Gujarat thing, then गुजरात रेरा में अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. जिस स्टेट में प्रोजेक्ट है, जिस स्टेट की रेरा से रजिस्टर्ड है, उस रेरा में अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा.
Yes.
सर, और इसमें जैसे अगर एज ए प्रोफेशनल हमको अगर कंपनी को सेव करना है, तो भी हम, जैसे आपने 1 ईयर की कंडीशन बताई और अदर जो प्रोविजंस है, अगर हम बिल्डर के लिए वो फॉलो कर लेते हैं, तो क्या हम अलॉटीज को बोल सकते हैं कि आप अगर वेट कर पाए तो अच्छा है, क्योंकि लॉ सूट ना हो?
नहीं, मुश्किल है, क्योंकि ऐसा है ना, आजकल एक्टिविज्म काफी हो गया कि I'll tell you, suppose let us take an example. If a project is complete to the extent of 20% and if a project is complete to the extent of 90%, in case of a 90%, yes, you can mediate between the builder and the allottees. यार 10% रहेगा, वो complete कर देगा आपका. Then हो सकता है allottees भी मान जाए, because you see allottees ultimately what they want their house. They want their house in time. झगड़ा नहीं चाहते कोई भी, right? झगड़ा करना भी इतना आसान नहीं है बिल्डर के साथ. बट आपका 10% ही है और पता लगा बैंक में बैलेंस कुछ नहीं है, भागने के कतार पे खड़े हो आप, तो देन दे विल गो टू द रियल एस्टेट अथॉरिटी. आपको भागा के है ना, कम से कम साइट तो ले लेंगे ना. सो देयर इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कन्विंस. 3 साल का टाइम देके, 1 साल एक्सटेंशन लेके, अगर आपने 10 to 20% कंप्लीट किया, देन इन व्हाट वे यू कैन जस्टिफाई, टेल मी. सो इट डिपेंड्स फ्रॉम केस टू केस बेसिस. Even how honest he is, number one, and to what extent he has completed the project. That is a most important thing. The important criteria is that as a professional, I'll not put my hand. If I come to know that 100 crore रुपया इकट्ठा करके 80 crore रुपया गायब कर दिया उसने, 20 crore का 10% का प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट किया, वो कभी जिंदगी में कंप्लीट नहीं करने वाला. तो ऐसे लोगों का साथ देने कोई फायदा नहीं. You will not be able to defend his case.
Correct. Sir, may I request that if you can put off your screen sharing so that you can also see all the members.
Yeah, of course.
To tell you, sir, we have one member from Brazil also with us,
Great, great.
and she have joined on my request, that because she is a compliance officer in a finance industry,
How to
finance
take
service
place
industry.
of-
So I told her to join the webinar
I'm not
and
finding-
learn. She was
I'm not
interested.
finding how to remove this.
Sir, above the screen, you are getting the option.
Just share. Okay, I have to press again. Yeah.
Any other member, if they want to ask the question, they can. Ushma ji, you can remove your mute button.
Sir, how this Benami transactions and RERA transactions, has there any correlation between them, or the Benami transactions can be curbed through the RERA applicability?
No. Benami transaction doesn't come under that. There is a separate act for that. You have to go through that. See, any guy can do a Benami transaction, and a real estate guy can also, do a Benami transaction. So, but Benami transaction doesn't fall under RERA.
Okay.
Any other member, if they want to ask question, they can ask. Sir.
People are from different states. Which all states the people are from?
All over India, sir.
All over India. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because in Delhi, we find Haryana, UP RERA and Maharashtra RERA to be extremely active. After that, Karnataka RERA is also very, very active. I don't know what experiences you have.
Gujarat, sir, Gujarat RERA is also
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank you for giving such an informative lecture on this. We had great understanding on this. There was a quick question on this. I was trying to understand. Am I audible to all?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I was just trying to understand. These days, many builders are indulging into such kind of corrupt practices, wherein they are giving different timelines for the completion of the project. So does RERA in any other office sections deal with such kind of disclosures, wherein if you are disclosing some other facts with respect to the completion of project authorities, but different to the customers? So is there any action, or is there anything which can be which is dealt with within the act itself? That's the question.
As far as the timelines is concerned, I have already said, while getting your project approved, you have to give the timelines and you have to stick to that. And if you don't stick to that, already it is in violation. We already said section 3, section 4. Then, you know, the penalties we had already discussed about, it is up to the 10% of the estimated project cost. First is levying a penalty. Then still if there is any delays, then ultimately, as I said, in the 3 examples which I have given, the RERA may decide that if this fellow is not able to complete, एक तो होता है penalty. Penalty से allotee को कोई फायदा नहीं है, ठीक है? It is a punitive action by which people will be, can be disciplined. But ultimately, the object is to get the project completed and give the allottees their flats or whatever they have booked. So after giving a good amount of opportunities also, if the builder is not able to complete then the project can be taken over and given the association.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. So sorry to interrupt you, sir. कई बार ऐसा भी होता है, जैसे बिल्डर रेरा में तो लिखा था कि मैं 2023 में जैसे कंप्लीट करूंगा, लेकिन 2023 या 25 में भी कंप्लीट करूंगा. बट प्रोस्पेक्ट कस्टमर्स को हमेशा ये बोलता है कि भाई मैं 22 में या तो 21 में मैं कवर करके दे दूंगा प्रोजेक्ट, और उसके लिए वो डिटेल्ड काफी बार एक एनेक्चर ही बता के देता है कि आपके ये भाई हमारा स्टेजेस कंप्लीट करके देंगे हम। तो देयर आर टू डिफरेंट स्टेजेस। एक स्टेजेस तो वो बताते हैं कि 21 में दूंगा, और रेरा में जो रहता है वो 24 में रहता है। तो is there any laws or any provision which take care
you
of
mean
this?
you mean to say you give two different dates?
Yes, sir. It's
No,
happening.
he cannot give like that. No, he cannot give you like that. You see, now everything is been synchronized in the sense that the ultimate guide is the application which you are making with the RERA authority, on the basis of which registration is granted, right? If he gives a time of 4 or 5 years there, right? Neither he can give more time or less time than that, right? तो अगर क्योंकि एग्रीमेंट क्लॉजेस जो होते हैं, एज ए सेड देयर इज अ मॉडल एग्रीमेंट नाउ, मॉडल एग्रीमेंट तो क्लॉजेस वहां भरते हैं, इट हैज टू बी कंपैरेबल विद व्हाट इज देयर इन द, दैट इज द रीजन एवरीथिंग इज पुट इन द वेबसाइट में आप चेक करके इफ देयर इज एनी डिस्क्रिपेंसी, फॉर दैट आल्सो यू कैन टेक हिम टू रेरा, देन रेरा विल गिव ऑर्डर्स टू रेक्टिफाई दैट।
ओके,
यू कैन नॉट गिव डिफरेंट, ऐसे क्वाइट पॉसिबल जहां आपको लग रहा है if there are different phases, as I said that nowadays a project is developed in different phases. 17 या 20-25 टावर होते हैं, अलग अलग नाम देके एंटायर प्रोजेक्ट को ना करके उसमें कहते हैं फेजेस में डेवलप करता है. Then registration is also now done on phase basis, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, right? Then all these phases are part of one compound and one project. Then some of the common areas are common to all the projects. प्रोजेक्ट ए बी सी तीनों का हो सकता है, एक क्लब हाउस एक ही हो, स्विमिंग पूल एक ही हो, एंट्रेंस एंड एग्जिट गेट्स 4-5 होते हैं, वही कॉमन एंट्रेंस एग्जिट गेट्स हो. तो उसमें क्या हो सकता है, वहां पे डिफरेंट डेट्स हो सकता है. फेज 1 का अलग डेट होता है, इसका डेट होगा, उसके वजह से कंफ्यूजन आ रहा होगा लोगों को.
नहीं सर, लेकिन यहाँ पे मुंबई में ऐसे प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं,
हो रहा है, तो देन यू कैन डेफिनेटली कंप्लेंट. सी एज आई सेड दैट चाहे रेरा हो चाहे कुछ भी हो, लोग तो करते हैं, बदमाशी करने वाला करते ही हैं, दे डू ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ मिसचीव्स. बट नाउ मिसचीव्स जो भी करे, इट इज इजी टू एक्सपोज देम, इजी टू कंप्लेन एंड इजी टू गेट द रिड्रेसल डन. नॉट लाइक अर्लियर. अभी पहले क्या होता था, एक कोर्ट में आप केस डाल दीजिए, वो 20 साल चलता रहेगा, 15 साल चलता रहेगा, वो बिल्डर को जो करना करता रहेगा. नाउ इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट. वे 3-3, 4-4 साल में if the real estate owners are being shunted away from the project and given it to the allottees, so that is a fast redressal, I must say.
Yes,
मैंने 3 केसेस देखा था, तीनों में 3-4 साल का डिले हुआ था. 3-4 साल डिले में अगर प्रोजेक्ट वाले को बाहर भगा दे, that means they might have given them opportunity to complete within that time. When they are not done, or when they are not given an assurance that they are capable or they are going to do that, then they have shunted away from the project and given to the. See, आजकल क्या है कि एसोसिएशन बड़ा स्ट्रांग हो गए. पहले क्या होता था, प्रोजेक्ट सारा कंप्लीट होने के बाद 80% ऑक्यूपेशन के बाद एक एसोसिएशन बनता था. आजकल 100 आदमी अगर पैसा दे दिया, पहले एसोसिएशन बना लेते हैं लोग. जैसे आईबीसी में जितने भी, आई एम इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल आल्सो, आई एम हैंडलिंग फ्यू केसेस एंड आई एम इन फ्यू केसेस सारे रियल एस्टेट कंपनी का होते हैं ज्यादातर. वहां पे आई एम एयर इन सम ऑफ द केसेस आल्सो. वहां पे 4-4, 5-5 एसोसिएशन बने, एक नहीं. जहां 800 अपार्टमेंट्स की प्रोजेक्ट है, देयर आर 4 रजिस्टर्ड एसोसिएशंस. दे आर एक्सट्रीमली स्ट्रांग, and one cannot believe. I can give an, without taking a name, I give an example. In Delhi, sorry, not Delhi, Noida, Delhi based company, Noida में एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाया था. It is a 13 tower project से, sorry, there are different towers of 13 flats each. तो 15 टावर उन्होंने 13 फ्लोर्स का बनाया. आखिरी टावर आके उस जगह पे उसको पता नहीं क्या लालच आ गया, उसने बाउंड्री वॉल बना के उस पे 40 मंजिला खड़ा कर दिया, 40 स्टोरी, 30 तक कंप्लीट कर दिया. कैन यू इमेजिन, 30 तक कंप्लीट कर दिया. बाकी 15 टावर्स का जिनका अलॉटमेंट दे दिया, देयर आर अबाउट 580 अलॉटीज. सब लोगों ने 1-1 लाख रुपए दिया. दैट मींस क्लोज टू 6 करोड़ इकट्ठा किया उन्होंने. Then tooth and nail they fought with that builder, and for the last 7 years that project is sealed.
My God.
And that project is worth some, I think that fellow has invested something like 300 crores in that project. वो टावर के लिए 30 मंजिल बन गए. Civil construction has been done for 30 stories and that's been sealed, and that is got done by the Association of Allottees. They gone to the Allahabad High Court.
Powerful.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चल रहा है वो केस. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में पिछले 6-7 साल से चल रहा है.
नहीं अभी एसोसिएशन कम हो रहा है.
काफी जगह बिल्डर्स करते हैं, बट इफ द अलॉटीज कम टुगेदर, दे आर यूनाइटेड एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली थोड़ा पैसा इकट्ठा करके केस लड़ने का क्षमता रखते हैं तो रिलीफ मिलता है. ऐसे नहीं कि रिलीफ नहीं मिलता.
ये बात तो एग्री करता हूं.
बिल्डर इज वेरी पावरफुल, स्पेंड करोर्स ऑफ रुपीस, 7 साल से सुप्रीम कोर्ट में लड़ रहा है, लेकिन वो अभी डीसील नहीं हुआ. ऑलमोस्ट उसका 300 करोड़ से गया, समझ लो आप. अभी तक
गया खत्म.
बट बिकॉज ऑफ वो कहते हैं कि भाई हमें तो अपना वो हमेशा, जब मैं एज ए कंसल्टेंट में भी नेगोशिएशन में बैठता था, हमेशा हम बोलते थे कि भाई जैसे ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि भाई कुछ पैचअप कर सकते हैं, हमने कोशिश किया पैचअप करने का. हमने बोला यार आपका तो फ्लैट दे दिया, बढ़िया सा बनाया, लोग सारे रह रहे हो, 580 अपार्टमेंट से लोग बैठ रह रहे हैं, कि आप लोग क्या तकलीफ है. कहते हैं तकलीफ क्यों नहीं है, आप मेरे साथ में अगर 40 मंजिलें खड़ा कर दिया, मेरे ना धूप आता है ना मेरे को हवा आता है, एंड दैट टावर हैज टू बी 13 फ्लोर्स लाइक अस.
13 फ्लोर.
आप 40 कैसे बना दिया. एंड सेकंडली मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली, लैंड किसका है. सी द इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन इज दैट लैंड किसका है. लैंड तो हमारा ही है ना. आज जो 15 टावर का जो लैंड है, जो छोटा सा पोर्शन रह गया, 10% जगह रह गया, उसमें 40 मंजिलें कहां से बना सकते हो आप. And suppose if they collapse, what happens? वो collapse on the other flats only ना. कल suppose वो फाउंडेशन हो सकता है 40 मंजिला का नहीं बनाया हो,
नहीं बनाया
उसने, कल कोई एक्सीडेंट हो गया, गिर गया, तो सब किसका हो. तो
एग्रीड सर.
ऐसे कर सकते हैं, ऐसे नहीं.
थैंक यू.
जी, any other questions?
I think no more such questions are there. If any other member have any questions,
or any other questions, if you have any specific questions, you can also write to me. The mail ID जो मैंने share किया, so anything related to RERA, when you put a question, I can definitely get back to you.
yes sir.
Hello, is the this thing still live?
Yeah.
Yes sir.
Actually, sir, this was not regarding RERA. I just wanted to question something else. I hope you won't mind. Anup, you there?
Yeah.
Anup, can I question?
Yes.
Okay. This was actually not regarding RERA, and with respect to company secretary and the software. So I'm just conducting a kind of market survey on that. So just trying to understand if is there actually any need for any kind of software for a company secretary, wherein from the start till the end, for the industry specifically, not for the practicing much, and for that matter for the practicing also. So from the start till the end, till the submission of the filing of the forms to the MCA, and automatic conducting of secretarial audit and all. So is there any kind of need which the industry still feels with respect to the audit and the company secretarial part? Just trying to understand that. Anyone would like to pitch in or would like to answer that?
Yes, Prashant, actually there is a need, and there are a lot of practicing company secretaries and lawyers are dealing in such type of softwares. Recently, yesterday only, I have received one call from Pune, and they are dealing in such type of softwares, but they are costing more than a 3 lakh as an AMC. Okay, it will be a one-time cost for 3 lakh, and then it will be go on AMC, because there are a lot of notifications issued by day to day. So it happens that they have to update, and the team are working for that.
Correct.
If anyone can frame that type of thing which is not so costly, then it may help the company secretaries, not only with respect to the Companies Act part, but it should be with respect to all the acts. Because what people are doing is people are taking all the acts applicable to that particular industry, right?
Hmm.
So they are taking such amount for all the acts, not only for the Companies Act perspective.
Correct. Yeah, I am aware of such kind of software, but does not automate in any fashion. The softwares which you might be talking of are normally kind of which through reminders kind of stuff. It is a repository of more than 100 or 150 laws, odd, and it throws on notifications on in a respective frequency, respective dates, and at which a TDS needs to be filed, it's which need the other compliances need to be done. Okay, so that is the kind of software that those are. But do you actually feel, or any one of you actually feel, there's a need for automation in CS, as in you just fill in a certain questions and the form automatically fills in, and when you actually go on to audit any company with respect to the secretarial audit, do you actually feel any need wherein it becomes a little tedious task to undertake the audit, and if any software would help you with that regard? A complete automation I'm talking about, not just throwing off notifications and helping with the reminders, but a complete automation right from the start, with the conducting of board meetings, sending of notices, agenda, and till the preparation of minutes. If what in the just on the tap of fingers you can prepare a minute, and then subsequently fill the form itself, and also know whether you're fully complied with all the procedures or not. Many a times it so happens that for a particular agenda, it needs doesn't need to be done in electronic meeting. It may be called, may call for physical meeting. So there are such kind of subtle nuances of the laws which actually calls for questioning. And that's why audit purpose audit has been undertaken of secretarial audit. So does anyway industry feel that there is a kind of need for such a system for automation? One, and second, while conducting audit, do we actually kind of feel that if any software would throw us with the whole list of compliances which the company has undertaken, and any gaps with respect to the compliances, if any? So any such kind of need which you feel, or any of you?
Yeah, I don't think so. There, it will be helpful if such type of software is prepared. In a one click, if the minutes are prepared, then it will be helpful to the professionals, or always.
Correct.
But the perfection should be there. As a drafting is such a thing which needs to be taken care at every step and in every sentence.
Correct.
If it is practically possible, then it may help all the professionals, not only the company secretaries, but all other professionals also who are filing the lecture. You can
Mhm.
also take them into consideration, and that will help all the professionals, I think.
It will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prabhakar sir, your views on this?
See, automation is good to the extent of completely replacing company secretary actually will be harmful to
The profession.
uh,
Harmful the
so
profession.
better we should not discuss about that or encourage people to have the softwares. And especially when you're talking about minutes, let me tell you, even I never encouraged, see, as I said that I was in the corporate for 36 years, and normal size of my department used to be 10 plus. 10 to I think maximum about 28 people used to be there in my department. When in a real estate company we used to have 280 companies, and 62 companies का हमारा consolidation होता था. So there also I used to tell all the people, भाई cut paste ज़्यादा मत करना, कि पीछे का कोई उठा लिया. So cut paste में पता है क्या होता था? Many times it used to happen. First paragraph में प्रभाकर company secretary, सेकंड पैराग्राफ में गुप्ता जी SS गुप्ता कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, वो मेरे से पीछे हुए कंपनी सेक्रेटरी थे. लोगों को इतने आलसीपन हो जाता है कि ठीक से पढ़ते भी नहीं.
बराबर.
चेयरमैन गलती से कभी एक मीटिंग में किसी और चेयरमैन को अपॉइंट किया, उसको उठा के कट पेस्ट करते थे, वो चेयरमैन करके दूसरा का नाम लिख देते थे.
बराबर.
तो हम बोलते थे कि भाई तुम ड्राफ्ट करो, ज्यादा जितना तक हो सके ड्राफ्ट करो, ठीक है, टाइम सेविंग के लिए using the other drafts is fine. But if you have a packages, click करके जैसे आप I give example of these agreements. कई सॉफ्टवेयर आता है कि जी आप डिटेल फीड कर दो, हम एग्रीमेंट बना देंगे. उससे ज्यादा बेवकूफी कुछ नहीं. Because being a lawyer also, especially real estate companies में, whenever we used to have some cases, अच्छा लिखा ड्राफ्ट किया हुआ, अच्छे लॉयर से ड्राफ्ट किया हुआ, when we used to go to senior counsels of Supreme Court or High Court, हमें धज्जियां उड़ा देते. क्या यार, किस किस्म के बंदे हो आप लोग, किस किस्म के कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज हो, किस किस्म के लॉयर्स हो, who has approved this draft? मतलब they used to puncture those agreements. कि कभी कभी क्या होता है, ये कट एंड पेस्ट के चक्कर में या कोई सॉफ्टवेयर लेके जो एग्रीमेंट्स अगर एंटर किया, इट कैन प्रूव टू बी डिजास्टरस. कि जब कभी झगड़ा होगा, ह्यूज अमाउंट का झगड़ा होगा, और आप हाई कोर्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएंगे, एंटायर केस इज बेस्ड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर एग्रीमेंट ओनली. और हो सकता है द वे यू रिकॉर्ड योर मिनट्स, कट पेस्ट करके अगर आप प्रियम्बल में कुछ भी लिखते हो, कई बार क्या होता है डायरेक्टर्स का, किसी का, अभी जैसे मैंने बताया था कि द ऑफिसर्स और डायरेक्टर्स आर पर्सन हु इज इन चार्ज ऑफ द बिजनेस इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द रेरा. कल आपके ऊपर केस बन गया एज अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी, एज अ डायरेक्टर, आप अपने आप को बचोगे कैसे? बचोगे तभी जब ये डिसीजन लेते वक्त मिनट्स में प्रॉपरली मिनट्स रिकॉर्ड किया हो. वो वहां पे एक प्रोविजो भी है दैट अगर आपकी कन्विंस नहीं है और आपके नॉलेज के बगैर हुआ तो देन यू आर नॉट रेस्पॉन्सिबल. नाउ टेल मी how you are going to demonstrate that it is done without your knowledge or without your connivance. अगर आप आंख बीच के अगर मिनट्स बना दिया कट पेस्ट वाला, प्रियम्बल में कुछ भी नहीं डाला, आई हैव सीन हंड्रेड्स ऑफ कंपनीज का मिनट्स कुछ भी नहीं, रिजल्ट से ही स्टार्ट होता है.
करेक्ट सर.
ऐसे मिनट्स के मैं इसको मिनट्स मानता ही नहीं कि मिनट्स के हमेशा प्रियम्बल में व्हाट पीपल सेड. आई वर्कड इन अ कंपनी, मेनी कंपनीज वेयर एमडी और चेयरमैन का जबरदस्त झगड़ा होता था भाई भाइयों में. तो हमारा रिजोल्यूशन से पहले 4 पेज का प्रियम्बल होता था, वेयर डायरेक्टर इज टू इंसिस्ट, मैंने जो कहा उसको आपको डालना ही पड़ेगा. जैसे हम क्या करते हैं, मिनट्स बना के ड्राफ्ट भेजते हैं ना, एक रूटीन हो गया कि हमने या भेजा नहीं भेजा, एक लाइन लिख देते हैं, मिनट्स ड्राफ्ट कॉपी ऑफ व्हिच हैज बीन सेंट टू द डायरेक्टर्स एंड एज देयर आर नो ऑब्जर्वेशंस टेकन एज कंफर्म. तो हमारा कंपनीज में कभी भी ये नहीं मानते थे. एमडी अड़ जाता था, यार मेरे को कब दिया ये, व्हाट इज दिस ब्लडी लाइन. कहता है मिनट्स कंफर्म नहीं है, मैं पढ़ के मैं इस पे चेंजेस बोलूंगा, व्हेन यू मेक चेंजेस ओनली देन दे अप्रूव दिस मिनट्स. तो कई कंपनियों में मिनट्स भी बिल्कुल आपको एक जैसे नॉवल लिखते हैं ना, या कोई आप एक अच्छा कविता लिख रहे हो या कोई किताब लिख रहे हो. आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस इन एटलीस्ट 2 कंपनीज वेयर at least 3 directors used to give their inputs. हमारा मिनट्स ऐसे फाइनलाइज नहीं होते थे. तो if you in that scenario, how can you press a button and मिनट्स अपने आप आ जाए या कोई एग्रीमेंट्स अपने आप आ जाए? अपने आप जो आ जाता है ऐसे ही है. फिर तो ये तो कंप्लायंस के लिए किया, the company will run into troubles. So I never advise mechanization to that extent where we are not using our competencies. And if you are not using our competencies and relying on softwares, then why should we pay? आज मैं एक कंसल्टेंट किसी कंपनी का अपॉइंट होता हूँ, I take extreme care that the company does everything properly. Even closely held company में बोलते हैं कि बेशक आप अपना कैबिन में कर लो या अपने ड्राइंग रूम में कर लो, मीटिंग तो करो. Try to prove that some meeting has happened. कभी-कभी क्या होता है, ये जो ऑपरेशन मिसमैनेजमेंट का जो केसेस एनसीएलटी में जाते हैं ना, 100 out of 100 केस में यही झगड़ा है. मीटिंग हुआ नहीं जी, मिनट्स बकवास है, मिनट्स सारा कंकोटेड है, मिनट्स सारा आफ्टर थॉट से बनाया गया है. वो इसी वजह से आता कि ऑटोमेटिकली ऑटो मोड में ऑटो पायलट.
नो सर, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट. उसके अंदर इसीलिए सर इतना केयर लेकर के कर रहे हैं कि हर डायरेक्टर का उसके अंदर एक इनपुट जाएगा. डायरेक्टर ने अगर मीटिंग अटेंड नहीं किया है तो तब तक मिनट बन ही नहीं पाएगा. जब तक मिनट डायरेक्टर ओके ना करे तब तक वो मिनट के फॉर्म तक जाएगा नहीं. अटेंडेंस पे रिकॉर्ड होगा तो खाली जब डायरेक्टर ओके करेगा यस आई एम अटेंडिंग द मीटिंग, तभी ही जाएगा. तो अगर इफ वी आर टेकिंग एब्सोल्युटली 100% केयर, जितना भी आपके प्रोविजंस है, सेक्शंस है, SS 1 2 3 है हमारे, तो जितना भी अगर वो सारा टेकिंग इनटू कंसीडरेशन लेते हैं, जैसे डिसेंडिंग मेंबर्स के SS 1 में अभी आया है कि जितने भी डिसेंडिंग डायरेक्टर्स होंगे उन लोग का स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन किया जाएगा हुआ द डिसेंडिंग मेंबर्स और उनका क्या क्या है. तो व्हाट इफ वी गिव ऑप्शन कि डिसेंडिंग मेंबर कौन कौन था, उन्होंने क्या बोला, इफ इट इज नॉट पास बाय यूनानिमस, मेजॉरिटी में क्या था. तो इफ यू आर टेकिंग ऑल सच ड्यू केयर after taking into consideration all assess the relative respective your rules, meetings and powers, transaction of business and companies act, अगर ऐसा holistic अगर सर एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाएंगे जिससे actually press the button and actually getting the output, तो wouldn't it really help the company secretary? क्योंकि अभी ये सर अगर एक कंपनी के सेक्रेटरी के पास आज अगर 100 बिजनेसेस हैं, अगर 100 क्लाइंट्स है और वो 100 क्लाइंट्स का भी अगर एक कंपनी सेक्रेटरी को एक मिनट्स बनाना है, तो कभी कभी वो एक्चुअली कॉपी पेस्ट का काम हो जाता है वन, या तो फिर उतना डिफिकल्टी हो जाती है. अगर कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के भी अगर हाथ पे एक सॉफ्टवेयर रहे जिसमें एक्चुअली खाली वो 4-5 चीज इनपुट डालें एंड इफ यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग इजी आंसर्स एंड स्टार्ट गेटिंग एट एवरीथिंग स्टोर्ड एट वन प्लेस, wouldn't it be helpful for company secretaries also?
नहीं बट मेरे को नहीं लगता कि मिनट्स तो कम से कम सॉफ्टवेयर से नहीं बन सकते. मैं जहाँ तक मैं सोच सकता हूँ मिनट्स डेफिनेटली कैनॉट बी डन. ठीक है, आपका वेल ड्राफ्टेड मिनट्स हो, आप डेफिनेटली एक स्टैंडर्ड टेम्पलेट्स बना के आपका जो भी ट्रेनीज है जूनियर्स होते हैं तो टेम्पलेट्स दे दो यार. ठीक है, हर बार आप इसी क्या होता है कभी कभी हम टेम्पलेट्स इसलिए भी अलाउ करते हैं. आई गिव एन एग्जांपल, मैं एग्रीमेंट्स में भी से 10 स्टैंडर्ड क्लॉजेस जो होते हैं जैसे प्रियम्बल हो गया, सपोज आर्बिट्रेशन क्लास हो गया, एक बार में वेटिंग करके वो सबकी लैपटॉप में पड़ा रहता है कि जहाँ पे भी गए नॉर्मल आर्बिट्रेशन क्लास हो तो वो डाल देते हैं वो लोग. जब मेरे को पता है कि वो डाला तो मैं उसको ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ूंगा, मेरे भी टाइम सेव करना होता है ना. बट डिस्पाइट ऑफ दैट फैक्ट, चाहे मिनट्स हो चाहे एग्रीमेंट्स हो, मेरे को तो बैठना ही पड़ेगा. सपोज मेरे जूनियर एक जीएम लेवल का बंदा है, वो भी बैठेगा एंड स्पेसिफिक उस एग्रीमेंट का जो क्लॉजेस ड्राफ्ट करना है वो करेगा, वेटिंग करना करेगा. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली ड्राफ्टिंग वेटिंग ही जरूरी नहीं है, आपको लेटेस्ट प्रोविजंस ऑफ द कंसर्न्ड एक्ट भी आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा एंड यू हैव टू मेंशन ओवर देयर, राइट. एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली आजकल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से आपको डाइल्यूट करने के लिए अपना आपको हर चीज वेरी वेरी एलॉबरेटली डिस्क्राइब करना पड़ेगा. आई विल गिव एन एग्जांपल. आपको पेपर में पढ़ा होगा, अभी काफी 6 महीने पहले इंडिगो का बहुत झगड़ा चला, प्रमोटर्स आपस में कंप्लेंट करके सेबी तक चले गए, सेबी का इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो गया, यू नो दैट. ठीक है, थोड़ा पेपर में जितने भी आया, ऑफ कोर्स वी डोंट नो द इनसाइड इंफॉर्मेशन, बट व्हाटएवर हैज बीन वेरी डिटेलली गिवन इन द पेपर्स, आप लोगों ने भी पढ़ा होगा. तो प्रमोटर्स जो अच्छे दोस्त थे, अब मतलब इतना ट्रस्ट था एक दूसरे के ऊपर, जब कंपनी अच्छा बढ़ गया वो पीछे का चीज खोद रहे थे कि भाई इसने अप्रूवल नहीं लिया जी, रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन के अप्रूवल्स नहीं लिया. हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल? हो सकता है वो ना हो, बट हो भी सकता है रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन के अप्रूवल लेते हुए मे बी दे आर नॉट प्रॉपर्ली मिनिटेड ऑन द ट्रस्ट बेसिस. या आपने जैसे बोला किसी ने बटन दबा के कोई पुराना 4-5 साल पहले जो भी था वहां पे उसने ऐसे मिनट्स बना के साइन करा लिया होगा. हो सकता है यू आर एन एक्सपर्ट, योर चेयरमैन मे नॉट बी एन एक्सपर्ट, ही इज रिलाइड अपॉन यू कि भी आपने यू वुड हैव टेकन केयर ऑफ एवरीथिंग.
करेक्ट सर, करेक्ट.
सी कभी कभी हो सकता है उन्होंने सारा चीज कंप्लायंस किया होगा, बट हाउ टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट दैट बाय योर मिनट्स ओनली. तो अल्टीमेटली आई डोंट नो व्हाट हैपेंड, बट पेपर में अच्छा खासा उसकी कवरेज आया था कि प्रमोटर्स के में आपस में कुछ झगड़ा चल रहा है. बराबर. तो केसेस एज आई सेड, मैं 2 कंपनी में ऐसे फेस किया वेयर ब्रदर्स हैव फॉट नो टूथ एंड नेल. तो हमारा मिनट्स काफी एग्जॉस्टिव होते थे, एग्जॉस्टिव ही नहीं, इसके ऊपर काफी बैठते थे.
It is very important, sir. I have seen, sir, public company and big private companies are actually making so many of errors in just drafting of the minutes. Sir, बहुत गलतियां करते हैं. तो मैं जब ऑडिट करता हूँ तो हम लोग सोचते हैं कि इतना एरर्स अगर एक बड़ी कंपनी कर रही है तो मतलब कुछ तो एक्चुअली सीरियस इश्यूज है.
नहीं वही है ना, सब आपको ऑटो पायलट मोड पे जाना, शॉर्टकट्स लेना, ऑल दीस थिंग्स विल लीड टू सच थिंग्स. और एक्चुअली मेरा ही चीज है, आप बाकी छोड़िए, मिनट्स छोड़िए, बाकी छोड़िए, मैं हमेशा आई वर्कड इन मेनी कंपनीज एंड ऑलवेज डायरेक्टली रिपोर्टेड टू द चेयरमैन. हमारा एक कोई भी मीटिंग होता था, मैं हर मीटिंग का मिनट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग बना लेता था, और कुछ नहीं तो मेरा आदत है कि नोट्स टू फाइल करके एक होता था मेरे पास कि कुछ भी नहीं, किसी ने पूछा भी नहीं है ना, इट इज फॉर माय ओन रेफरेंस. उस दिन चेयरमैन के साथ मीटिंग क्या हुआ, मीटिंग में कौन कौन बैठा, क्या क्या चीज डिस्कस किया करके एक A4 साइज शीट का या 2 पेज का एक नोट्स बना लेता. और मेरे जाने के बाद भी 10 साल के बाद भी, क्योंकि कई कई मैटर्स मेरे छोड़ने से थोड़ी ना खत्म हो जाते, 10 साल और चलते हैं। और मेरे जो बाद में कंपनी सेक्रेटरी आया, he has not attended the meeting, उसको दिमाग में कैसे, और चेयरमैन भी भूल गया होगा यार उस मीटिंग में हुआ क्या था। तो हाउ यू कम, गवर्नमेंट में ये सिस्टम है, व्हाट वी कॉल इट नोटिफाई। तो मैंने अपनी सारे कंपनी में आई इंट्रोड्यूस सिस्टम, कोई भी मैं ऑफिस कभी भी नहीं छोड़ता था विदाउट मेकिंग ए नोट्स टू फाइल, क्योंकि मेरे को कभी भी बाद में किसी को भी याद नहीं रह सकता। आज मीटिंग हुआ, आपने चलो एक स्क्रिबल कर लिया डायरी में, आप जाने के बाद सारे डायरी फेंक देंगे आप, या हो सकता है आप अपना डायरी ले गए हो और या आपने स्क्रिबल किया, दूसरों को समझ में नहीं आता, लेकिन एक टाइप करके उस कंसर्न फाइल में लगा दोगे, तो डेट लिखा हुआ, कौन कौन अटेंड किया, किसने क्या क्या बोला, कंक्लूजन क्या था, और व्हाट इज द ऑर्डर ऑफ द चेयरमैन इन दिस रेस्पेक्ट। अनलेस इट इज extremely confidential, you should not be put in writing, you should always maintain that and keep it in your records। तो इसमें बहुत ज्यादा कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज का मेरे को लगता है ज्यादातर, एक्सेप्ट आप फॉर्म्स जो अपलोड करते हो, बाकी सो जितना ऑटोमेशन हो गया, टू दैट एक्सटेंट ऑटोमेशन इज गुड। लॉयर्स एंड कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज का अभी भी the most important skill is their drafting skills and their communication skills, so we should not surrender that to an automation। और फिर हमारा हो जाए। आज भी लॉयर का जो सुनते हैं हम लोग, कोई 5 लाख रुपए लेता है, जिस कंपनी का मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था, उस कंपनी का जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस एज ए कंसल्टेंट में जाता था, वन ऑफ द लीडिंग सुप्रीम कोर्ट एडवोकेट यूज्ड टू चार्ज 18 लाख रुपीस पर अपीयरेंस एंड 2.5 लाख रुपया पर क्या बोलते हैं ब्रीफिंग वन डे बिफोर। और मजेदार बात है, महीने में 3 हियरिंग होते थे, तीनों मीटिंग से पहले वो ब्रीफिंग चाहता था, नहीं रहता, कहता एवरी टाइम यू हैव टू कम विद द फाइल्स एंड मेरे पास 1 घंटा बैठ के मेरे को समझाओ, तभी मेरे दिमाग में रहे। और एक छोटा सा कागज में स्लिप में इज टू नोट डाउन द पॉइंट्स, एंड अगले दिन जाके ऐसे आर्ग्यू करता था एज इफ ही नोज द एवरीथिंग फॉर द लास्ट 10 years। लेकिन 18 लाख रुपए लेता था, 18 lakhs पर अपीयरेंस एंड 2.5 लाख रुपया उसके लिए ब्रीफिंग के लिए, दैट मींस 20 lakhs प्लस पर अपीयरेंस। तो उसको इतना वो कैसे मिल रहा है? बिकॉज ही इज डूइंग ऑन हिज ओन, कोई ऑटोमेशन नहीं है वहां पे। अभी भी आप सिंघवी को देखिए, हरीश साल्वे, किसी को भी देखिए, उनके पॉकेट में छोटा सा स्लिप होता है इतना। मैंने मिस्टर सिंघवी को हर बार देखा, किसी भी केस को लड़ने से पहले एक स्लिप निकालते हैं, वो इतना से होता है, छोटे छोटे अक्षरों में लिखते हैं, वो उसमें 5 बुलेट पॉइंट्स होते हैं, वो अपने पास ऐसे रखते हैं, और ही कैन आर्ग्यू फॉर 2 hours आल्सो। तो उन्होंने इसी से ऑटोमेशन में थोड़ी ना दिया। इनफैक्ट अभी भी तकलीफ है उनको, एनसीएलटी में या हाई कोर्ट में अभी वर्चुअल हियरिंग हो रहा है ना, उसमें भी तकलीफ है उनको। जिस दिन कोर्ट बंद हो जाएगा, ये बंद करा देंगे और जाके वहां लड़ेंगे लोग केसेस, बिकॉज वहां पे अपीयरेंस होके दैट इज देयर स्किल। ऐसे कंपनी सेक्रेटरी शुड आल्सो डेवलप सच स्किल्स। बोलोगे भाई मेरे ड्राफ्टिंग स्किल्स है, आज मैं बहुत छोटा कंपनी में भी कंसल्टेंसी देता हूँ, आई गिव वेरी सेलेक्टेड, but I approach the work as if I am working in a listed company। जो listed company में बड़े-बड़े ग्रुप की
that is very important, very important।
उसी टेम्पलेट्स को यहाँ यूज करता हूँ मैं। कि छोटा कंपनी करके छोटा जैसे चलाओगे ना, फिर आपको पैसे ही नहीं देगा वो।
बराबर।
How to make them feel that yes you did something on your own।
Correct। Anup, your thoughts if any?
No, I agree with sir, because ड्राफ्टिंग स्किल अपना ही है, तो इट्स गुड कि मतलब ऑटोमेशन होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वर्कलोड होता है कितनी बार, बट एट द सेम टाइम इतना फुल ऑटोमेशन भी अगर हो जाएगा तो ये अपने लिए ही नुकसान है, क्योंकि समटाइम्स कंपनी टू कंपनी भी फर्क होता है। एक ही चीज होगा बाय सेल का, बट स्टिल कंपनी टू कंपनी उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन अलग होगा और रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन अलग होते हैं, तो थोड़ा सा टफ है। हाँ, हो सकता है ऑटोमेशन, नो डाउट, बट हर कंपनी के लिए अलग होगा, तो उसकी कॉस्ट फिर उसकी ज्यादा होगी, और कॉस्ट अगर ज्यादा होगी तो देयर शुड बी अ बैलेंस, मैं वही बोलूंगा।
करेक्ट।
Now,
thank you
yes, Bhavesh,
yes, thank you very much Prabhakar sir for joining us and giving this amount of knowledge on RERA topic, which is also a very new topic for all the participants here, and maximum participants were company secretaries here. Some of the chartered accountants have also joined today, and LLBs also are there. So it is the platform created for all the professionals. So all the professionals was involved here today. And we really thank you, and we're looking forward to hear you again for any such other good topic from which the members can get that benefit in their professional life. So thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, Bhavesh and Anup, and all the participants. Thank you for your patient listening. And it's always a pleasure to share our experience with juniors and fellow professionals. So anytime, whenever you time you think of any topic, let me know. I will make a presentation. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you very much, and take
Thank
care
you,
of
sir.
yourselves, and stay at home or stay in your offices and maintain the social distance, and take care of yourself. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all the members. Thank you very much for joining us at this weekend today evening. It is actually an awkward timing which we have selected because of the speaker. So if you people have any other option and any other suggestion regarding the next topic, then you may give us on in person or in the groups. Sorry, in groups you cannot text. So in person you can give us.
In person.
So that's not a problem, because already we are short of time and it is 8:21. So I hope everyone is hungry and want to take a dinner. So let's hang up.
Any member wants to say something? Vishwanath, you want to add something?
Anyone, if want to give any feedback, then most welcome.
Nothing much. Session was really good. And I appreciate your initiative, Stephen.
Thank you, Vishwanath ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So guys, hope you will have a safe Sunday. Take care.
Thank you, Bhavesh. Thank you.
Vishwanath ji. Thank you, all members. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.